Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Have you ever wondered what weird and wonderful rules exist in other parts of the world? We all know the basics like stopping at a red light or not stealing. But some laws are so specific and strange, they sound like they've been pulled straight out of a comedy sketch. Today we're taking a trip around the globe to explore 5 of the most bizarre laws you probably never knew existed. From forbidden snacks to royal regulations, get ready to have your mind blown. Let's dive right in. First up on our legal world tour, we're heading to the beautiful and famously clean city-state of Singapore. But if you're planning a visit, you might want to leave your chewing gum at home. That's right. Since 1992, it has been illegal to import and sell chewing gum in Singapore. So, what's the story behind this sticky situation? Well, it turns out the government got fed up with vandals using gum to mess with public infrastructure. People were sticking used gum on mailboxes, inside keyholes, and even on the door sensors of the mass rapid transit (MRT) trains, causing major disruptions and costly cleanups. The government decided enough was enough and implemented a full-on ban. Now there are a few exceptions. If you have a prescription for therapeutic, dental, or nicotine gum, you can get it from a doctor or registered pharmacist. But for the average person just looking for a piece of bubble gum, no chance. If you're caught selling it, you could face hefty fines or even jail time. And while spitting out gum you brought in for personal use won't land you in prison, you could still get a fine for littering. So next time you're in Singapore, maybe opt for a mint instead. Alright, let's hop over to the picturesque mountains of Switzerland, a country known for its chocolate, watches, and animal welfare laws. This one is genuinely heartwarming. In Switzerland, it's illegal to own just one guinea pig. You heard me correctly. If you want a guinea pig, you have to get at least 2. Why? Because guinea pigs are incredibly social creatures. In the wild, they live in herds, and they can get very lonely and depressed if they're kept by themselves. The Swiss government recognized this and passed a law in 2008 to protect the emotional well-being of these furry little guys. The law states that social animals must be kept in a way that allows them to have contact with others of their species. This doesn't just apply to guinea pigs either. The law covers other social animals like parrots and mice. It's a testament to how seriously Switzerland takes animal rights. They even have rent-a-guinea pig services. So if one of your pair of guinea pigs passes away, you can rent a companion for your remaining pet, so it doesn't have to live out its days alone. How thoughtful is that? It's a law based on pure compassion, ensuring these little critters live happy, social lives. Next, we're jetting off to Japan, a country where tradition and modernity coexist in a fascinating way. But did you know that until very recently, busting a move after midnight was technically against the law? This law, known as the Fuejo, was a public morals law enacted way back in 1948. Originally, it was meant to regulate dance halls, which were often associated with illicit activities in the post-war era. The law required venues to have a specific dance license to allow dancing, and even then, all dancing had to stop by midnight or 1 a.m. For decades, the law wasn't strictly enforced, and Japan's vibrant club scene thrived. However, in the 2010s, a series of celebrity scandals and public disturbances led to police crackdowns on nightclubs across the country. Suddenly, no dancing signs started popping up in clubs, and the party would grind to a halt at the stroke of midnight. This sparked a huge public movement called Let's Dance, with musicians, DJs, and club owners lobbying the government to change the outdated law. They argued that dancing was a form of culture and expression, not a crime. Finally, after years of campaigning, their voices were heard. In 2015, the law was officially revised. Now, as long as the lighting in the venue is above a certain brightness level, you can dance the night away in Japan without a care in the world. A victory for party people everywhere. From the dance floors of Tokyo, let's travel to the romantic canals of Venice, Italy. A trip to St. Mark's Square, or Piazza San Marco, wouldn't be complete without seeing the hundreds, sometimes thousands, of pigeons. For decades, tourists flocked to the square to buy seeds from vendors and have their pictures taken with birds perched all over them. It was an iconic Venetian experience. But what was a picture-perfect moment for tourists became a massive headache for the city. The pigeons were causing serious damage to Venice's priceless historical monuments. Their acidic droppings were corroding the marble statues and ancient buildings, costing the city a fortune in cleaning and restoration fees. Not only that, But the sheer number of birds was becoming a public health concern, with worries about the spread of disease. So, in 2008, the city of Venice said, "Basta. Enough." They enacted a law making it illegal to feed the pigeons in St. Mark's Square. The seed vendors were cleared out and signs were put up warning tourists of the new rule. If you're caught tossing breadcrumbs to your feathered friends today, you could be hit with a fine ranging from 50 to 500 euros. So, while it might be tempting to share your snack, it's best to admire the birds and the beautiful buildings from a safe and legal distance. For our final strange law, we're heading to the Great White North, Canada. Now, Canada is known for being polite and friendly, but don't get on the wrong side of their royal etiquette. According to Section 49 of the Canadian Criminal Code, it is illegal to do an act with intent to alarm Her Majesty. That's right, it's a criminal offense to scare the Queen or the current reigning monarch. This law isn't some newfangled rule. It's a holdover from old British legislation that Canada inherited and has kept on the books. It falls under the section of prohibited acts that also includes things like intimidating Parliament and inciting mutiny. Now you might be thinking, when would I ever get the chance to scare the King of England in Canada? And you'd have a point. The chances are pretty slim. But the law is there, just in case. The offense carries a potential penalty of up to 14 years in prison. It's not just about jumping out from behind a bush and yelling, "Boo!" The intent is key. It's meant to protect the sovereign from intentional acts of intimidation or threat while they're performing their duties. It's one of those quirky, historical laws that probably won't ever be used, but it's fascinating to know it exists. So if you ever find yourself at a royal event in Canada, just be on your best behavior. No sudden movements. And there you have it, 5 of the strangest laws from around the world. From saving lonely guinea pigs to protecting the Queen from a fright, it's amazing what you can find in the world's law books. It just goes to show that what seems perfectly normal in one country can be totally bizarre in another. Which of these laws did you find the weirdest? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this global legal adventure, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. We have so much more cool content coming your way. Until next time, stay curious and stay awesome. Bye.